Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mark from Right Line Trading. I really appreciate you giving me your time. And what we're gonna be looking at today is the NDT, which is Ninja Dome Trader trade execution tool. It's a way of getting better entries on your trades, uh, taking less slippage, being able to execute a trade in a fast market without running around on the Superdome. So we're going to go over all of these things. So let me just move to the disclaimer. Hang on one second. And we're going to move off the slides. That all signals and trading opportunities provided both orally, written, or electronically that are disclosed to visitors or subscribers are for educational demonstration purposes only. Right Line Trading takes no responsibility for any participation by visitors or subscribers when the futures, forex, or stock markets, nor any profits or losses may be incurred. Participating in trading in the futures, forex, and stock markets does involve substantial risk. It should be understood that a person can lose a substantial amount of money. Therefore, the participation in these markets is not appropriate for everyone. Always carefully consider your financial position, do your own due diligence, and Right Line Trading is not a registered financial advisor and not a licensed not a licensed commodity trading advisor. Now, with that, I'm going to drop the slides. What we're going to do is, if you work with NinjaTrader, you're going to trade off the Superdome. And the Superdome presents its own particular challenges. I mean, if you traded this morning, you know that the Nasdaq, which we do trade every morning, can move very, very quickly. And you can also, in a very, very quick market, you can sustain slippage on any trade. And that's the thing that you're looking to minimize as much as possible. You really want to get a precision entry. And now I think I always get it mixed up, but I think this is the dynamic dome. And if you want this to move a little bit slower, you have to pay extra for the static dome. Now, right now, price is, you're looking at this, and this is off of the, I believe this is off of the, hold on. Let me move this to the NQ. Now, right now, this is trading off of a sim feed. This is not a live market. And what we're going to do is we're going to bypass the Superdome. We're not going to look to put in a buy stop or a sell stop or chase the market or chase entries. We're simply going to do all of these things at the touch of a button. Now, obviously I don't have a live market up, and I'm going to show you a little bit of what the NDT is capable of doing. The only thing I want to do is just create a bigger right side on the margin. That's all. Now, the way the tool is configured, you can buy or sell immediately if you choose to do so. So if you want to buy, you can just hit the buy, and then you get your instantaneous entry with your targets and your stop. Whatever your automated trade management strategy is, we're going to program it into the NDT for you. You can have multiple trade management strategies, which we do, and they're going to pop right up. You don't have to run to the dome and place any kind of trade. It'll take it right here. Now, obviously, this is just a simulated feed, and we're going to have the market move up, and we'll take you're going to see that it's going to take the first target out, and the stop just moved to break even. So within the NDT, you can configure as many automated trade management strategies as you wish, and you can program one for each instrument. If you trade stocks, you can program one for each stock. We're just going to close it. If you trade futures, you can program one for each future. And if you trade Forex, one for each Forex pair. Now, if the market is moving very quickly, what we usually do, and we never take a trade intra-candle. We only look to take a trade on a candle closed to the upside or a candle closed to the downside. Now let me just bring this down so it's closer to the center of the chart. So I think it's extremely dangerous to trade intra-candle because the market essentially is expressing itself in every candle, in terms of price action. So we wait to trade on every candle close. If we're going to take a long trade, we'll be on the close of an up candle. If we take a short trade, it's going to be on the close of a down candle. Now, in a fast-moving market, it can be especially challenging because you have to figure out where the candle's going to close. If it's on a range chart, you can do it fairly easily. If you're trading time or tick, it's a lot tougher. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to a tick chart. I'll just trade a 150 tick. Now, you really don't know. Now, I know there's a tick counter here. I'm going to put that in the indicators. You can see at the bottom, you have ticks remaining, and it's counting it down. But if you want to get an exact entry on a down close, as the tick counter starts to move down, you're never going to be certain where that candle is going to close. So all you have to do is hit sell on a down close, and the NDT will set it up for you. And get you in exactly at the close of the candle. And this one, it kind of jumped just a little bit. And let's try it again. And we're gonna hit sell a down close. Now I guess Sergio is gonna have to configure it a little bit, but what it's gonna do is it's gonna close at the close of the candle to the downside. And I'm not sure why it's not doing that now. Hang on one second. Okay, I just had it configured wrong. Now we're good. Now let's wait till this goes. Hold on 1 second. Okay, now we're going to sell a down close. The trade's going to be pending. And we're going to wait until the tick counter comes down to 0. And it's going to execute a trade right as the tick counter hits 0. There it is. Exactly at 0. What I had to do is change the strategy over on the control panel from range to ticks, which I had not done. So as soon as the candle closed, it got you, in fact, 1 tick below the close of the candle. And in a fast-moving market, it's almost impossible to do that manually. And I'll show you the same thing to the upside. We can just close the trade. I'm going to move this up. I'm going to take out the the printing, because that's just going to get in the way, because we'd be taking a lot of trades. So if we move this to the upside, and the same thing's going to happen with time. I can change the strategy. You know, you're going to have it preset. You're not going to, in the middle of your trading, you're not going to move from ticks to time. But what we're going to do is we're going to buy an up close. Now it's going to hit the next candle. Let's wait till it counts down. It's 106, 104. It's a slow moving market right now because it's after market. But wait till we get to 0. And you'll see that the NDT will execute almost exactly 1 tick above the close of the candle. So you don't have to run in on the Superdome and put your stop or put your entry there. If it's a fast moving market, it's going to go right past your entry. Even 150 tick is not moving that fast because it's after market. We're almost there. In. And you're in exactly 1 tick above the close of the previous candle. That is your goal. The top of every candle acts as a weak area of resistance. The bottom of the candle acts as a weak area of support. So when you enter a long trade, you always want to enter 1 tick above the close. If you enter a short trade, you always want to enter 1 tick below. This is going to give you a precise entry. In a fast-moving market, it's a tool that's going to get you an exact entry almost every time. And the NQ today, at certain points, was really moving like a hurricane. And the only thing that allowed me to trade it was by buying it up close or selling it down close. I didn't have to run to the dome to put in my buy stop or put in my sell stop. And my ATM, automated trade management strategy, immediately came up and I was good to go. Now I'm going to drop the number of ticks we're trading. This happens quicker. Let's go to 50. And I'm going to show you a couple of other things. Now, let's say that you want to buy on an up close. That's going to happen very shortly. All right, so hang on. Whoops, I think I have to also reprogram it again. Excuse me 1 second. Let me take this off. Edit. Put this into the dome. Now we're good to go on 50 ticks. Well, let's say we're going to buy it on close. And these are things obviously you're not going to change in the middle of trading, but we're doing that. You're in. Again, 1 tick right above the close. Now, where's your exit strategy? Now, you could have an automated trade management strategy where this trails the trade. The way that I do it is I look for a first target hit, and then you're going to see this, and then you're going to see the stop come up to break even. Now, let's say the market starts moving to the downside. What you can do, now I'm going to move the stop all the way down here. So that's going to be where the market would normally stop you out. What you can do is simply hit close on a down close. And the first reversal candle is going to take you out of the trade. No matter where this stop is, as soon as this reversal candle closes, your trade's going to done. You're out. So it's a great way to trail the trade. The trade goes up like this. No reversal candles. You hit close on a down close where you're long and you're out at the close of the first down candle. So it's a terrific way to trail the trade. So if we sell on a down close, we want to get that precise entry 1 tick below the close of the candle. It's coming, and it's coming down. We're in. This one gave us a positive tick of slippage. Now here's my pre-formatted stop. And I'm going to take the first target. I'm going to move it all the way down here. So there's my stop now. Let's let the market run just a little bit to the downside. Can't make it run any faster than the data feed will let me. Let's let it go 1 more candle. It's going to happen very quickly. Now remember, we're going to close on an up close because we're in a short trade. So the first time that the candle closes to the upside, we're out of the trade. In this particular case, we can set a very big target. And I put close on a down close instead of close on an up close. I'm sorry to close the trade. But what I wanted to do was close on a reversal candle. And you saw it took you right out. Now, if you're in the trade and you buy right here, when the market's heading down, so you don't have to wait for a candle to close if you don't want to. If you do, it's going to get you an exact entry. Here, I just ran in and took it. Let's let it go one candle down. Now we're going to close on an up close. There's our stop. Now that's our full loser if we let it go all the way here. So the first thing that we do is we just set to close on an up close. And the first up candle is going to take us out of the trade. And it's a great way to trail a trade. Irrespective of what your ATM is now, on a short trade, you close on the first up close. On a long trade, you close on the first down close. And watch the trade took us right out. So you really get precision entries. If you believe that there's an actual queue and there's a certain, and if you're looking to buy the market and there's a certain number of traders on the sell side, and let's say there's 500 traders looking to buy and 450 looking to sell, and some traders are going to get slippage on the trade, and electronically that's the way it's supposed to be. No one's supposed to be favored. You're going to get your entry faster and be quicker in the queue, because as soon as you want to take a long trade, from the first tick the candle moves up, you hit that buy at an up close. You don't have to fumble on the dome. And this is a very gentle moving market, but you know what happens when the market moves at rocket speed. It's sometimes very, very difficult to get the entry you want. Doesn't matter what you're trading. Now, it's tougher if you're trading ticks, and it's tougher if you're trading time, because you don't know exactly when the market's going to close. This is going to give you that precision entry, because the software is going to determine when the candle closes, fire an entry immediately. It's pre-programmed and give you a trade. Now, if you, hopefully you're going to get a full win. Now, it also has a really interesting feature that can really provide you with a tremendous advantage. Now, you're not going to see this anywhere. This is a patent pending tool. It's been pending for a long time because they keep coming back to us for updates, because it's got so much code. And here's what you can do. Let's say the market is so choppy that you believe you can program a one-tick pullback. Now, what that one-tick pullback means is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset the strategy. I'm going to go back to range, so we know where it's going to close. We have an idea. Let me just go to the data series. And we're going to go back to range. What we'll do is we'll go to a 5 range. Now I have to trim. I'm gonna hit OK. Let me take out the all the print. And change the strategy in the NDT to a 5 range. And it's real simple to do. You just take this and you go to range. This isn't something that you're going to be doing while you're trading anyway. When you're trading, you're going to know the size of the candle you're going to be trading. So we're on a 5 range. Hit OK. And now we're set to go on a 5 range chart. So let's set it down. Now let's say the market is so, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more indicator. It's called our bar closes indicator. I don't see it working. Hang on. Okay, but our bar close is set for a different kind of chart. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this out. The tick counter, we're going to remove. Now the bar closes would have told us when we're going to get it a close to the upside or close to the downside, but we have it formatted for Unirenko. But now we know every 5 ticks, we're going to get a new candle. Now with the NDT, I'm going to bring it back up. Let's say that you believe the market has so much chop and movement in it that you can actually program in to trigger 1 tick below the close of the candle, but come back and get you on a 1 tick pullback. So we're going to sell a down close. There's no range counter here. When it goes to the 5th tick, you're going to get it. You're going to get a close, but now you need a pullback. Now you're not going to get it on this data feed like this. Now, if it was the normal market choppiness on a regular feed, now you see that 1 tick pullback puts you in the trade. And then if the market continues in the trend, you've just grabbed an extra tick on the trade. So essentially, when the market triggers 1 tick below the close of the candle, and the market's wiggling around enough to ensure that it's going to pull back a tick or two on the trade, it's actually going to execute you on a 1 tick pullback. You can do that on a 2. You can program in a 2 tick pullback. Obviously, a 3 tick pullback is really risky. But what you're looking to do is to start the trade already 1 tick in the plus. Now, just to make it really clear what's happening, here's the candle. Now, the tool is not going to fire unless price comes up 1 tick above the close. At 1 tick above the close, here, it's going to trigger, but it's not going to execute here. So it's broken the weak resistance of the top of the candle. Let me just move this to the middle. But then it's got to come back 1 tick to fill you. Now this works really well on Forex where the market is jumpy and you have a spread that you have to overcome. It'll trigger 1 pip above the close, then come back a pip to put you in the trade. Now, right now where the Nasdaq is so jumpy and moves around, remember, we're not in a live market here. You can grab that extra tick. So if your first target, our first target on the NQ is 10 ticks, and our second target is 20 or 15 and 25. It gives you a tremendous advantage to start the trade 1 tick in the plus. And the Nasdaq moves around so much, you've got that wiggle room at the entry. You can program that 1 tick pullback, and you can program it on any instrument at all that you like. Now that kind of configuration you're not going to see on any other trade management tool. And you do not have to deal with the NDT, which is a major headache for me at least. I mean, I don't like trading off the Superdome. And I don't like trading extra money for the static dome. And remember, if we were trading a live market and it was 9:35 in the morning, and we're trying to trade the Dow, the Nasdaq, or Google, or one of those really volatile stocks, this thing is going to be flying. And if we want to get a trade at the close of a candle, one tick above or one tick below, we have our hands full. If you're trading time or if you're trading tick, you never know where the candle again is going to close. Even if you're trading range you already know. You can set your buy stop or sell stop based on the open. But it's still a major headache. And it's still easier just to hit a button and let the tool get you into the trade right at the appropriate time. I'm going to show you a few other trade configurations. There it is. One tick above. Now it hasn't executed because I still got that pullback programmed in. And right now I've got it moving in only one direction because of the trend. So you're never going to get that pullback unless I move this. But there you're in. And you've got an extra tick on the trade on that pullback. And that can mean a lot of extra money. And also to be up on the trade, a tick when you first enter is really a tremendous advantage. I mean, it's the way of Schneidering the market. And I'll tell you one other thing. In a fast-moving market where it's stuttering around, a one-tick pullback requirement absolutely guarantees you cannot take slippage on the entry. Because if the entry should be one tick above and it slips all the way up, now this is independent of the dome. It has to do with the speed of the market, the number of buyers on the sell side and on the buy side and sell side, and you're going to take 4 or 5 ticks of slippage on the trade, and you program in a one tick pullback, you're never going to get an entry. And that is also a tremendous advantage. If you require the one tick pullback, you eliminate the potential for ever getting slippage on the trade. Now, certain markets, it's tough to get a pullback. It's tough to get it on the E-mini. It's tough to get it on instruments that have low volatility. And the E-mini has significantly, has a lot less volatility than the Dow, the Nasdaq, the Russell, which is also like a hurricane in the morning. Most of the stocks in the morning are also really fast. It's so easy to get a 1 cent or 2 cent pullback if you're trading an instrument like Google or Amazon, or even the cheaper stocks. To get in already up on the trade it really provides you with a tremendous advantage. Now you can hit close. Now you can always buy. You can always sell. Now, in some cases, when you're trading Renko charts, Renko traders will buy the up close or the down close. And you can just hit this button. And then it's going to execute the trade no matter which direction the candle closes. We move this step down like this. It doesn't matter where it's going to close. It's going to execute the trade. Now it's got to move the requisite 5 ticks on a 5 range. That's the only thing. But once it moves 5, it doesn't matter in a live market whether it's 5 to the upside or 5 to the downside. And obviously I can't, this data feed can also be slow. Doesn't matter. And you're in here 1 tick below the close of the candle. Exactly. Now, again, what I wanted to show you was, and I'm going to take this 1 out, and we're going to go back to 0. is that also you can configure any ATM, automatic trade management strategy in here that you want. It does not make any difference. And you can trade, and you can put in here multiple ones. You can dial them in. I have 4 here, 2 for the E-mini, 1 for crude, and 1 for the Nasdaq. But you can put in an unlimited number of automated trade management strategies that you like. They're very easy to program. And if you come aboard, we're going to program them all for you. We'll give you our recommended targets and stops. But this is a white glove installation. We're going to do all the installation for you on this ourselves. You don't have to worry about any of that. We're also going to maintain it for you. So if we do an upgrade or we do an add-on, you're going to get that. The other thing is you can take a market order, you can take a stop order, or you can take a stop limit order. The kind of execution that you want is totally configurable. Now, if you're going to sell a down close, we take a stop limit. If you want, you can take a stop. And if you want, you're going to take a market order. Now, with this tool, it really doesn't matter a whole lot, but I like to take the stop limit order on the down close. Because my goal is to minimize slippage, and I want to guarantee that I'm going to get the price that I want. And this tool is going to do its best to get you that price. Now, the only other trade that you can also do is, let's say we're going to sell. Let's buy because we're moving up. Let's hit the buy automatically. Let's let it go up a little bit. Now let's say you feel that the market has gone up so far that you just don't feel it's going to go up any further. Or let's say that it's moving up into a strong area of resistance on the up close up here. Let's say this was a pivot, something that made the trade very difficult to get through. Now you can take the risk. Obviously here it's going to break because we're just doing the sim. Let me close it and do it over again. But here's what you can do. You can buy. Let's move this down a little bit so we don't have it moving up quite so rapidly. What you can do as it approaches that area of resistance to the upside, you can hit close on close. So as it approaches that area of resistance, now you can hit close on an up close, but you might also be concerned that as it gets close to resistance, it's going to bounce off of it prematurely. Because remember, an area of resistance acts like this. It's not just a discrete area. A pivot has a zone. So you're going to want to take your profit before it gets there. And as it approaches it, you just hit close on close. If it happens to bounce prematurely, you're out to the downside. And if it actually makes it, it would have closed automatically. So you're actually taking profit and closing the trade. You can just hit close, but you can let the market play out and potentially take the risk of it hitting the pivot and moving through. And all you're doing is risking the length of one candle on the bounce to the downside. So I hope that makes sense. As it approaches the pivot, you can either just close the trade or you can close on close. And if it hits the pivot and doesn't move through, bounces to the downside, you're out of the trade. And if it breaks through, if it doesn't break through, I'm gonna close. In other words, this is the case where you want to close under any circumstances, no matter what the candle does. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I have. Again, you can trade multiple instruments. I only have the NQ activated, but you can have 9 or 10. Now, what you can do, I'm going to bring up a few NDTs, is you can have multiple NDTs up. Here's another one, and you can set this on crude. And there's another one somewhere around here. I think I might have dropped it. Let me find it. And let's say you want to set this on the E-mini. You're going to put that below the chart on the ATM that you want to use. Or you could trade one and just dial in the instrument that you want to trade. It's really up to you. So you can bring up an unlimited number of domes, and you can take more than one trade at the same time, as long as your account can handle it. If you get a long trade on the NQ, then we're only projecting one market, because that's all you can do on the simulated data feed. But if you buy an up close, see, I've got 3 domes up and 2 are on the NQ. You just got to make sure that you don't have that. Let's put this to the ES. So, all right, let me take these down. Here's what I do here. I have to put this to the ES. Now we're good. To the market affected order. Let's see, this is ES, crude, and the Nasdaq. And this should buy an up close here. I don't know why it's not. I would need Sergio. I mean, this should not be a problem. We've got the NQ, crude, the E-mini. I have multiple domes up when I trade live. I have one up for crude, I have one up for the Nasdaq, and I have one up for the E-mini, just like you see here. So I don't know what the problem is. It's just my technical ability, because Sergio brings it up in the morning and it comes right up. And I know what it is. 2 of these domes are set on Unirenko, and only one is set on range. So that's the problem. You can't have it set on 2 different strategies. Now, so let me take these off. Set this to the NQ. I don't know what the problem is now. Hold on. Let me take it off. Let me start it up again. And there. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. Let me take that out and take that out. I only have one activated. There we go. We're selling it down close, and you can see exactly what we got. Now it's doing something that it didn't do before. It's showing you where the calculated entry is. And there it is. Now, I don't know why it wasn't doing that before, but it should project that. Let's do that again. We're going to sell it down close. And there's the close that's already been determined by the NDT based on that 5 range. And as soon as it hits it, it executes. So it already knows where the candle's going to close based on the fact that you have 5 range programmed. Hang on one second. Okay, it's got to be stop limit to show where it's going to enter. You know, it comes with a 25-page manual, and Rory's going to configure it for you and tell you all these things. you don't have to worry about the configuration or any of these nuance. So let's close it one more time. Let's buy an up close. And on a stop limit, it's not letting us buy an up close. I don't know why. It's letting us sell a down close, but it's not letting us buy an up close. And this is just my own technical acumen, which is not that great on because I don't configure this. Sergio does in the morning before we open, and it's really, really very, very simple. Let me show you why we can't buy an up close. Hang on one second. Now, I don't know why it's not letting me do that. I really don't. Let me try a stop. I don't know why. It's just a technical issue with with my ability to configure, and because I've been moving it around, I have it set on a 5 range, and I'm not exactly sure why. I've never actually seen it where we can sell a down close and not buy an up close. But like I said, you don't have to worry about configuring it. And there's your entry right there on the close. So it's really about getting into the trade early, earlier than anybody else. It's not having to determine where your entry is going to be. And I can reconfigure it on time. And in fact, I'll do that really, really quickly. I'm going to close up. And what we'll do is we'll configure it on a 1 minute. Actually, why don't we do 30 seconds? Now, I just have to come over here. Excuse me. Let me bring this over. Okay, see my control panel. Okay, let me close this. We bring the control panel over. I'm going to go to the NDT. I'm going to go to the 5 range. I'm going to go to edit strategy. And I'm going to go to seconds, put in 30, hit OK. So now the strategy for this NDT is a 30-second. Hit that, up they're going to come. Obviously, this is not something you're going to do while you're trading. And now we can put in. I think there's a minute counter. Or time. So I don't trade time, but I think there is somewhere here. I'm not going to look for it. We know that it's going to close every 30 seconds. And we don't know exactly where it is going to close. So let's come back up here and buy an up close. Now it should be moving up. It's a sim feed. I don't know. I don't have the time down here, so we don't know when it's going to run out. Now it didn't close because there was no up close. Now we're going to have the up close. There it is. And that's an exact entry. Actually, it actually gave you, there's the entry. It pulled back a tick. If you configured that one tick pullback, it came back 2, and up it goes. So you don't have to worry where this tool is going to close or where the price is going to be at the exact time it closes. It's going to get you right into the trade. And again, you can manage it using this tool. You can keep, you can continue with the market going up. Let's take our second target, move it all the way up here. As long as it keeps closing to the upside, you continue to make money. Now, what I like to do on the trade is as soon as I'm in the trade long, I hit close on a down close. Because once I get a reversal candle, I want to be out of the trade. As long as I keep getting up closes, I want to stay in the trade. So I'm moving up. All of a sudden, the market starts to fade. Now, there's no down close here. This is still an up close. The first candle that closes on a down close, we're going to be out of the trade. Out. So it's a great way to trail a trade. I mean, you can continue to garner profit as long as the market keeps closing to the upside on whatever kind of candle that you're trading. And the first reversal is going to take you out. Now, if you're trading range and you know exactly how far you want, every 8 ticks, you get an up close, 8, 16, 24, whatever it is. As soon as you get the reversal candle, you're going to be out of the trade. And you can really watch a market move I mean, today I'm not going to put a live data feed in here, but you could have gotten great trades on the Nasdaq to the downside. It went 15 points without an up close on a Unorenko chart. So you just keep moving that, it just keeps heading down. Now you can set your final target at 10 points, whatever. You're only at risk for one candle. So you can see how much easier it is to trade. And the other thing is that I really want to stress is the fact that you don't have to chase price. And then I'm going to answer any questions that you have on the Dome. I mean, for me, it's a major headache. Listen, you want to focus on one thing, looking at what's going on in the market, making an assessment of your strategy, looking at your indicators, looking at all the things that you use. If you don't trade with indicators, you just look at price action, studying the charts. You don't want to have to start fumbling over at the Dome on a fast market to try to get into a trade at the exact price you want, because you're not going to ever, it's going to be almost impossible. Market is moving too fast, and on time and tick, you don't know if you trade the close of the candle where it's going to be. This tool will get you in immediately. And like I said, if you believe there's a queue, and I do believe there's a queue, you're going to get in first and you're going to get minimal slippage. It's the only execution tool I've ever seen in my life that can guarantee no slippage. And that's by programming in the pullback. Now, it's a little risky because if you're trading something like the Nasdaq can move through your entry at 100 miles an hour and never give you a pullback. But also, if it moves through at 100 miles an hour, it's likely to give you a significant amount of slippage. So it's going to guarantee you avoid getting slippage on those trades. It's the only time I've ever seen that. On the Forex, it's a great way of minimizing that pip spread. I mean, if you have a 2 pip spread, you can reduce it to a 1 pip spread. You get the trigger on the entry, but you get the entry on a 1 pip pullback. So it does a great job of helping you preserve of helping you get a winner. I mean, if your first target is 6 or 7 pips, you know, you've got a 12%. You're up 12% on the trade right at the outset. Still got to move a bit more, but that 1 pip gives you a significant advantage. If you're trading 8 range, 12 range, whatever you're doing on futures or on stocks, anytime you can take money out of the market's pocket, it's a tremendous advantage. You can get into the trade at exactly the price you want, and you're already up money. It's going to increase the chances that you're going to get to your profit target and make money. So let me see if there are any questions. Now, let me just show you the offer we have. We put together a really nice discount with a lot of add-ons. Let me just bring that up. Now, normally it's $1,500, and we reduce it to $797. Now, that's a lifetime ownership. And I see so much software out there that you lease, and you're gonna have to pay again in a year or pay again in 6 months, or you're gonna pay again in a month, whatever. You own it forever. It comes with an owner's manual that I wrote. It's really, really comprehensive. It's gonna show you everything that you can do on this tool, but we're gonna set it up for you anyway. And if you need any help with it, we're always gonna be there to modify it for you. I mean, we'll set up your automated trade management strategies, whatever you want us to do on the installation, we'll be happy to do for you. And later on, if you want to trade additional instruments, you don't know exactly how to configure, we'll help you. Now, it comes with a video tutorial library on specifically the NDT. Now, you're going to come into the live trading room with me and trade with me for a month. And normally, actually, that's $199. Doesn't really matter. Now, you get the white glove installation and tech support, and that's really for life. As long as you own the tool, if you call us up and you're having an issue with it, you want us to help you do a configuration, you want to change your ATM or change the number of contracts you trade, not exactly sure how, we'll do it for you. If we upgrade it or make it better, and we are looking to do that, what we're looking to do is somebody wanted to add a tool, and I'm trying to remember what it was. I can't remember. It was an additional button. We're going to upgrade you to the new NDT, and then every month we're going to meet for strategy sessions on how on the NDT and just on trading in general. We always have a monthly meeting. There are a lot of people in the room. We talk about everything. You know, everyone in the trading room trades a single a single methodology, but it's nice because you get to see what other people are trading, what other instruments they're looking at, and people in that room are trading everything, trading Forex, they're trading futures, they're trading stocks, and it's a really nice exchange. And the first 5 orders also get 6 months of my options alert newsletter. And I don't want to come across as being heady, but I am a terrific options trader. I mean, my portfolio, for full disclosure, and I take all the trades that I recommend, is up 50% so far this year, and that is no lie. Like, you know, I have a bear call spread on Microsoft, which is going to expire tomorrow. Give us 100% of our net credit. I have positions on really, really good stocks. I'll just give you a couple of them, but I'm a very, very good options trader. I trade a really different methodology than most. And I have a position on Comcast. Our Microsoft position is looking to close 100%, get 100% of our net credit. I have Abbott Labs. I have WEC Energy. I have Cisco Systems. And then I have one very long-term position. The only position that really took a hit today was Sony. And I really like Sony, but it pulled back today, and I'm not exactly sure why. So I think we're running about 70% winners in the portfolio. And the losers are the ones that I mark as higher risk. Like I took a position on Ford, marked it as higher risk. So you're going to get 6 months of that options alert newsletter and get all my options trades. And that is $6.99. It's $1,400 a year. So let me see if there are any questions that I can answer. Hang on one sec. I'll just put up our phone number. And I see questions, so hang on and I'll answer them. Okay, hold on one sec here. Hey guys, how you doing? Yes. Hey guys. Listen, it's going to do everything I say, Mikey. I am not the greatest tech configurer. I opened it and configured it. Believe me, it does everything. Trust me. I trade with it every single morning. And let me tell you something. It's like a habit forming tool. When you trade with it, you will never want to ever trade off the dome again. I couldn't imagine anymore ever trading off of this again. I just couldn't, because I don't hunt for my entries. I don't try to put in my sell stops or buy stops. I don't have to confirm anything. I just hit one button and I'm in. Al, Rory should have put it in the room. Okay? It's in the chat box, Al. If you want to come aboard, you'll see the link. Okay? And Raj, it works with any candle type. It'll even work with I don't use them that often, but if it's on NinjaTrader, it will work on it. It is absolutely irrelevant, because if you look here, when you go to strategy, you take this out and you go to edit strategy, you can put in here anything that's in this list. Volume, range, seconds, minute, days, weeks, months, Heikin-Ashi, Kagi, Renko, point and figure. If it's here, you can dial it in. You can dial in a line break, set up the criteria, and you're good to go. So it does not make any difference what kind of candle, or you may not even trade with a candlestick. It doesn't matter. There's the point and figure. It'll do whatever you like. Does not make any difference. Okay, Mikey. Mikey, listen, if it's buy on close, it'll buy whether it closes to the upside or the downside. If it's buy on an up close, it's only going to execute a candle or a formation that closes to the upside. If you want to take a long trade, and one thing that I did not show you, which I'll just tell you about, because we won't go back to the workspace, which is really important, is let's say you're looking to get a long trade and the candle closes to the downside. So you've got an entry in that's buy an up close, and you get a down close. Well, the NDT automatically cancels the trade for you and takes it out. So you don't have to go back to the dome and cancel the trade. And that's a big plus, that you don't have to really chase the dome, because now you've still got that buy order hanging out and the market is heading down. Once you get the reversal candle in the opposite direction, if you're buying an up close and the candle closes to the downside, the order will just simply disappear, and you're out of the trade. And that's a tremendous advantage in a fast moving market. You don't have to worry about that trade hanging out. Sure, Raj. No, Al, don't worry about the risk to reward ratio, the first and second targets, because all I did was just put up a display. Nothing more than that. I just wanted you to see the configuration of the system, and nothing more than that. I'm not really here in this webinar to teach you profit, risk to reward, or targets and stops. Sometimes we take a 10 tick first target, second tick, a 20 tick second, sometimes a 15 tick first, and a 25 tick second. And remember something, when the trade starts moving in your direction and then you close on a reversal candle, you're going to minimize your risk. Whatever your initial stop was, you're not even going to come close to losing the trade at that stop. So closing on a reversal candle, like if you're long and as soon as you get into the trade, you would close on a down close, and this will all come to you when you use the tool for a little bit. You're going to minimize the potential loss on any trade. Let's say you go 9 ticks and the trade doesn't hit. Well, the reversal candle will take you out way before you would hit your stop. And the one thing I found is that the NDT is that NinjaTrader doesn't always trail the trade as accurately as you would like. But that reversal candle will take you out, and maybe you'll have only 1/2 of your potential total loss, maybe less. So it's going to minimize your losses on the exit on a reversal candle, even if you haven't hit your first target yet. That was a great question, Bruce. Yes, that's correct, Heinz. I'm not going to read it because that's a very technical question that other traders are not going to have to worry about. Yes, we just came out with the reason I'm doing this webinar is we just came out with a brand new NDT for NT8 that is absolutely flawless. It is the trade execution tool works without any glitches or flaws. I've been using it for days now, and it's perfect. So and that's why we came out. We decided to do this webinar. Yeah, no, Gary, NT8 is now really its forte. It is a terrific tool on NT8. Let me tell you, I'm on NT8, and I use it every single day. Here it is. And if you'll notice the version here, this is the NT8 version, not the NT7 version. So they look a little bit different. Now, I'm not sure, Priscilla. It doesn't really make any difference. Whatever it was passed, and it just has to do with my configuration. And we're going to teach you exactly how to configure. I got so much stuff on my plate that one of the things I just delegate is the tech configuration of this to Sergio. I mean, he's my tech guy. So I let him worry about this every morning and deal with it every morning. And when I sit down to trade, it's up and operational and ready to go. But we're going to teach you exactly how to do it. And it's really very, very simple. Rory knows how to do it. And Rory came to us, tech. sort of naive, and now he can really do really nice configurations. And either he or Sergio will do the whole thing for you. It might have been Priscilla. It was one thing or another. I'm not going to worry about that, but you might be right. It's for NT7 or NT8, Carlos. We have an NT7 version and we have an NT8 version, and they're both identical. They look the same, just a little bit different visually, but every button is the same, and they work exactly the same. It's great for Forex on that one pip pullback to narrow that pip spread. It's also good on stocks because you're gonna get a spread on stocks. That bid-ask spread you can narrow, especially if there's a lot of sort of harmonic movement inside the market. It's not hard to get a 1 cent or 2 cent pullback on the market and actually get the price of the stock and not the bid price, not the bid or the ask. And you guarantee that with that pullback. The trend, Al, I don't see a trend on here. The trend was that was the tool that I was using. This is just was setting whether the market was going up or down. This is a demo data feed, and I was controlling its direction. That's all. If we sit in a live market now, we could be here a week before we get an entry. So by turning this to the upside, I guaranteed that price was going to move up. That's all. I just wanted to be able to show you multiple entries without wasting time. That's not part of the system. That's just NinjaTrader. It works on any time frame, Hans. You decide that. Remember, when you go into the tool right here and you go and you set the strategy, you have to disable it. Edit the strategy. You pick what you want. If you want to pick your, let's say you're on a minute chart, you can go 10 minutes. You can go 50 minutes. Doesn't make it 150. It doesn't matter. It will work on anything and on any formation. It's just programmed into here in the strategy section right here when you right click. And listen, you're going to set that one time because I'm sure all of you trade. You either trade range, time, Renko, Unirenko, and halfway through your trading, you don't decide to move over to a different candle, or a different type of formation. Once that's set up, you're fine. And like I said, you can set up multiple time frames on multiple different NDTs. If you want to trade the NQ, set a 5 minute, and then at other times you can set it on a 10 minute, you can bring up 2 NQs. And you have one formatted for a 5, one formatted on a 10. And what happens will be determined by which button you press. So it has tremendous configurability, and you can trade as many instruments as you want, and they can all be on different formations. You can trade one on range, one on time, one on tick. Really, it's got almost limitless configurability. One can trade 2 accounts at the same time, Rianne. Absolutely, you can. The only thing that you have to do is when the NDT comes up right here, and see the account? I have it on Sim. You just put the account that you want to trade out of. If you have, say, account 1, you put it here. Here, if you want to trade out of account 2, you just put it here, and it'll trade out of account 2. So you can trade out of multiple accounts if you want to do that, as long as they're programmed into the account section. Oh, thanks, David. So Marble dropped Spider-Man. and that's what hurts Sony. Okay, thank you. It's good to know. I really could not figure out why Sony took over a $2 loss today. Hopefully it overreacted and it'll come right back. It works on Thinkorswim. The thing is that on Thinkorswim, now Thinkorswim, you can trade futures or stocks because the data feed from Thinkorswim will run NinjaTrader, and you can execute the trades on Ninja right out of your Thinkorswim account. There's few platforms that allow us to do that, but TOS is one of them, because the TD Ameritrade data feed actually goes right into NinjaTrader. So it's sort of like an umbilical cord, and you can take your trades on Ninja, and they will execute in your Thinkorswim account. There are others too. Awanda's another one of them. There are a few of those that you can do that with, and TOS is one of them. And that's what I trade out of. I trade out of Thinkorswim. That is where I've had my account for almost 20 years. It really works flawlessly. Now, I just want to make it clear: if you trade Forex, Hans, you can't do it. But if you trade stocks or futures, you can, because there's the TOS data feed will not move Forex data over, but it will move stock data over and futures data over. And essentially, you've got yourself dual platforms working out of your same account. Handles. Renko is about the best for entry if using 1-minute candles. You can go too far before you enter. There can be very long 1-minute candles. You're right, Dan. And you can configure that, because you can have one NDT on a Renko and the other configured on a 1-minute. And I think that strategy has a lot of merit. Hey, Raj. Normal DOM scares the shit out of me. I'm a newbie. By the time I place the order, the chart has moved on, and there I am stranded in the middle of the road. This looks better, far better. Thank you, Raj. Honest to God, dumping that dome or paying extra for the static dome. And let me tell you, in the course of a year, just on the price of the static dome to pay for the extra stability, you will have bought the NDT. And it doesn't have all the configurability of the NDT, that one button press where it already knows on range where that where that entry is going to be. And if you take a stop limit order, it's actually going to project your entry for you. That is just something you don't have to worry about. And like I said, you want to focus on trading, not on fumbling with the NDT in a fast-moving market. And we've had periods of time on certain instruments where they move like lightning, and you're not going to get the trade unless you have your buy on an up close or sell on a down close already pressed and ready to go. And then you don't have to worry about anything. Heinz, I don't know that. But just give Rory a call or send him an email. You'll get the recording, Martha. No, we created it, Al. We built it ourselves, and we filed for a patent on it. And I'll just tell you a quick story. It used to have a volume ladder. It used to have a ladder just like this did. This is really off topic, but I'll show you the dome one more time, if I can find it. This used to have this whole section here, but Ninja wrote us a letter and considered it a patent infringement. So we had to chop this part of it off. So the only part of it we're allowed to project to preserve their patent is actually the execution tool itself. Doesn't limit it that much, because you really don't want to trade off that off that dome part. That's what causes so much problems. But we had our own, and we actually created our own dome, but we had to remove that part of it, and that's been gone for a long time now, simply because we don't want to get into a fight with them. They're too big and we're too small for that. So that's the execution tool. Don't chase price on this thing. It's a lot easier to take trades off of here. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Great. Hey, Raj. You're right. Listen, Raj, the DAX is a killer instrument. I'd love to trade it. The only thing that kills you on it is slippage. This is going to really help you trade the DAX. And I have traded the DAX a lot at 2 o'clock in the morning on the European Open. It's a tremendous instrument. And the 12.5 euros you make per tick is the most money you get on any market per tick. I mean, it's got the volatility of the Nasdaq ×2, and it pays you more than a tick on the E-mini, and that's really unusual. So you have the potential to make a really significant amount of money. You just have to eliminate the slippage on entry, and this is going to do a tremendous. This is going to work tremendously. It's going to be tremendously helpful to minimize or negate that slippage. When you say the button's linked, no, they only all go off at the same, is because I have the NQ configured in every one. They're all in every dome, when configured correctly, is an independent execution tool, all by itself. Sergio knows how to do that, and I don't. And he went home at 4 o'clock, so I had to do this myself. So they are not linked. Normally, when you press a button on one, it does not light up on the other. Hang on one second, Heinz. What did the letters? They stand for Ninja Dome Trader, NDT. And that was another problem, but we stood fast on that, wouldn't change the name. We just wanted to make it clear that this is a Dome Trader on the Ninja Trader platform. So that's what that NDT stands for. So listen, everyone, thanks so much for giving me your time. I really do appreciate it. Again, just really quickly, that's the, if you just missed it, that's the offer. It's $797 lifetime ownership. And there's a lot of add-ons, upgrades, add-ons, the strategy, monthly strategy sessions. And the big thing is, I'm telling you, you're going to make really nice money off my options newsletter. I work really, really hard on it. And I personally take all the trades I recommend. And I put that out there as full disclosure. Now, it's more than just options. It also has biotech picks as well. I look at which micro biotechs are coming up for FDA approval on a stage 3 or stage 2 or stage 3 approval, and we've done pretty well on those. We've accumulated a few because of FDA postponements, but you also get the small biotechs, and occasionally I'll buy a micro cap. I have one micro cap in there. So it's actually more than just my options, but that's the thing that I really focus on, are the options alert. I installed on the Ninja Trader. This is a separate tool. If you bought the full software, it does not come with the NDT. Now it may have been part of your package, I don't know. That you'd have to speak to Rory about, because I really don't know that. If it is, we'll make sure you get it. If it wasn't, just speak to Rory and he'll take care of it for you. So listen, everyone, have a really, really great evening. I wish you all the best of luck. Let's make some money in the market. You have to take it from the other small commercial traders, not from the big institutions. And this also is going to keep you in a trade a long time. You don't get a reversal candle, you can ride this thing up, and you can close on that reversal. Okay, then just call Rory out, and he'll fix it for you. He'll take care of you. All right, everybody, have a great evening. Thanks so much for giving me your time, and I look forward to seeing you in the room. And you'll be trading with me. Take care of it, and you'll watch me use the NDT. Take care. Have a great evening. Bye-bye all.